It's Friday, February 26, 2021, and this is The Inbox with Greg Nibbler. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Again, I am Greg Nibbler. This is The Inbox, and I appreciate all of you being here. Of course, follow Chewbox Media. If you're watching this show, you probably already do, but just a reminder, you can do it on a bunch of different platforms. TWO Box Media. Of course, share, like, subscribe, but you're here. That's all that matters whenever you're watching. We are broadcasting live, though, so if you are watching along with us live, of course, leave your comments. Let us know what you think about what we're going to talk about. I'll tell you this. Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about some robots. We've got some rockets. We've got special guest star Aaron Keeney here to talk about the Golden Globes, which are happening this weekend, and some other stuff. So make sure you comment along. Let us know what you think about that. But let's do this. It is the end of this week, and let's talk about a pretty big story that came out over this last week, and that is Twitter. Twitter making some changes. So these are announcements that they have about coming up changes. The whole goal for Twitter is to get more profitable. That's been an issue for them. They said that by 2023, I believe it is, they want to double their profits. And here are a couple of ways they're looking at doing it. And this is why I want to get your opinion. The first thing is a thing called super followers. So this isn't the idea here is that basically creators and people who post on Twitter would be able to charge anybody to see their exclusive tweets. So what could that mean? Maybe it's an exclusive video or their thoughts on something. The idea, the demo that they showed would be maybe like $4.95 a month that somebody would pay. Another idea was that maybe they would get like a special badge that says, hey, I'm a super fan of Two Box Media or whatever it would be. That's something else that could go along with this. And again, the details are still being worked out, but it's something that Twitter is putting forward with this. And I really, really want to know. I'm on Twitter quite a bit. I don't post a ton, but I am on there pretty actively. I find it to be a good source of news, but how is that going to work charging $4.95 a month for exclusivity for things? Is that something you'd be willing to pay? Is there somebody out there that you'd want to pay? I mean, I can think of certain exclusive content, OnlyFans, that would work maybe on Twitter, something along those lines, but is that what you would want to do for that? Do you think it would work out? I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some big people that would work out for them, some big Twitter users, people with giant followings. How would that work out even for journalists, though? Would they be able to put exclusive things on their account, even though they work for someone else? A lot of questions to work out, but that's one thing they're looking at. Super followers, something that's to be coming. Another thing is communities, and this is not that surprising. I actually think this is kind of a good idea. It's something that they've done with Facebook groups. You've got Facebook doing it, you've got YouTube, you've got other kinds of platforms that have had this kind of thing before. So it'd be curated groups, especially for people who are newer to Twitter. I can definitely see that. Maybe somebody who's joining on. It gets confusing until you get the hang of it. This way you would just be like, hey, I just want to see cat posts. And you would go there and just see cat posts, as you can see demonstrations right there. Or, maybe more important things like social justice. But it'd be curated groups that you can post within that. That seems like a good idea to me of something that would be coming along with that. But again, these are things that Twitter is looking at. The one thing that's missing that I've said it over and over, I'd be willing to pay for, is the ability to edit a tweet. My thumbs constantly, I blame it on my thumbs, are constantly misspelling things. And then you either have to have that dilemma where you either delete it, or then you have to post afterward, or you just hope people just realize it was a mistake. Give me the ability to edit my tweet. I have a big plan for it, Twitter. If you want to hear about it, it's pretty simple. We can talk about it, and maybe I can help you out on that. But regardless, that's what we saw from Twitter this week. So let us know what you think about that. Continuing on here with our news, some things that you should be aware of. And again, these are things that were trending this week, but especially today, and it has to do with Pokemon because it is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon debuting. That's crazy. It feels both short and long. It feels like it should have, that it's been going on longer than that, but it was 1996 when Pokemon debuted. They had a big 25th anniversary kind of celebration that they put up today. So a little bit of history, and I didn't realize this either. It debuted on February 27th, 1996 on the Game Boy in Japan. The first ones, they had Pokemon Red and Green versions, and this is all just that came out from then, and it's expanded now into movies, tons of different games, huge things that have happened with this franchise. And it's crazy that it's still going on and even better than it was before as far as popularity. And that is another thing that they talked about is where the future is going with it. There's some other revamped games that are coming out, but there is a new kind of open world version that they are going to be having. And this open world one is pretty. Honestly, I'm not a Pokemon player. I'll just be completely honest with you. This one, I would definitely be into. I tried Pokemon Go. I was pretty terrible at it, and then, I would just get beat all the time. This looks like something I would be into. So it's called Arceus, and it's an open world, kind of a newer version of Pokemon to where you can interact with this specific world they've created. It's pretty cool. The graphics look really good. It's called, they said it's a new challenge and a new frontier. So even if you're already in this world, this would be something new for it. It's going to be launching, I believe, early 2022 is what they're talking about. Again, going on to the Switch, though. So Switch users getting the bonus on that. So Pokemon Legends Arceus, I'm assuming I'm saying that right. That is going to be kind of the new version. Again, looks pretty cool. And that's something else that's coming out. But it's just amazing, 25 years celebrating that. They've got a lot of videos they put up kind of going along those lines and talking about some different ways that they're going to revamp, like I said, some of the older games. But definitely a big day for Pokemon. 25 years on February 27th since it launched. That's pretty amazing. All right, going on from Pokemon's 25th anniversary. Let's talk about it. I promised robots. Here are some robots. We're not going to talk about the Boston Dynamics ones or robots with guns. Instead, this is a robot that I think is doing the Lord's work. That seems weird to say it that way, but doing what robots should, and that's bringing you pizza or burritos at the airport. So this is something that's going to be in Philadelphia. And it's a specific way that you can order food now at the Philadelphia airport. It goes along with social distancing and everybody trying to make sure that you're being, safe. And this is what's going to be happening. So the company that developed these is called Piaggio Fast Forward, but they're called Gita robots. And now you're going to be able to order food from different Philadelphia foods and shops. So you can probably get snacks and things like that. You order it, you can select that you want the robot to deliver it. I think it's a $2.95 extra delivery fee, but wherever you are in the airport, you're sitting there. I mean, we all know this back when we could fly all the time. Like once you secure your spot in the waiting area, you don't want to get up because somebody's going to steal it. Maybe you've got to plug in there. You want the food to come to you. So the robot will deliver it. It'll follow along using sensors and Bluetooth. It can, I guess, ostensibly not run into somebody. It does have a handler. So it's got a human handler right now that'll go along with it as well. But the robot will come directly to you, bring you your burrito, and you don't have to get up. And that is, I think, the best use case possible of robots. I feel the same way about drones. It's, once the drone can deliver me a burrito, I'm all on board. Robots bringing burritos. I am very pro that. So that is something Philadelphia Airport. If you're flying through there, you can try it out. I would suspect we'll see that happening at more airports. Also, going forward, you've got it on different campuses. There's all kinds of robot delivery right now, but that's a cool one. Have it delivered directly to you. Try it out at that airport. All right, final thing here to talk about, something to look forward to in the next few days. I don't have an exact date yet because they haven't given us one, but it's another SpaceX Starship test. If you followed along with the Starship, I'll tell you, we've got a good video that kind of explains the history of it at youtube.com/2boxmedia. Plug right there. But this is for the SN10. So it's the 10th version in these iterations of the Starship. If you don't know, this is the entire line that's eventually going to take people to not only the moon, but to Mars and who knows where else from there. I mean, this is the line of ships. It's not the Falcon 9 that's going to be sending people to the International Space Station. This is the big one. And they're going to be having this test. So they've done some test fires on the SN10 over the last couple of days, which means a full flight is imminent. They've done this already with the SN8 and the SN9, and they send it up. I think one of them went up about 15 miles. It does this perfect turn. It's really, really cool video footage that you can see of it. Both of them failed to land, though. It's a giant fiery explosion. Of note, nobody's on these things. Everybody's safe. So it's kind of fun to actually watch a giant rocket explode. And that's part of what the testing is. They want to do this all before they put people on it. So the SN10's the next one in this line. They've already got, I think, an 11 and 12 ready to go. But this launch could be happening within the next few days. We think it's going to happen then based on the fact that they've done these static test fires. So keep an eye out for that. It's a lot of fun to see where it's going. I mean, this is the future of everything. Eventually, people will be riding on those. Like I said, we got that video up that shows how it'll be working. They've got virtual concerts planned for these things. I mean, it's amazing where it's going to end up going, but you got to get through these first. Well, you got to land it first. That would be a pretty big step. So that's something you can follow along with over this weekend with SpaceX. All right, something else you can follow along this weekend with, that's the Golden Globes. They are happening. They're happening this Sunday. And joining us here right after this quick break, we're going to have Aaron Keeney on to talk about that, talk about who's nominated, how it's working out this year. There's some controversies, what to watch, a lot to cover. So stick around. Be right back after this with Aaron Keeney here on The Inbox with Greg Nibbler. There we go. I told you it'd be a quick break, and we're already back. So thank you to everybody who is joining us for the Inbox with Greg Nibbler. It is now time to talk about some entertainment, though, and in particular Golden Globes, which are continuing on and going to be happening this weekend. And we have an absolute expert who is joining us to discuss that. We've got Aaron Keeney with us right now. Aaron, it is always so good to see you and to talk to you and hear your take and explanation on all of this. And I guess to start off with, they're happening. I mean, we're still in this pandemic, but we're still getting these things going on. How are the Golden Globes working this year? And kind of what are some big overall themes that we're seeing?
Well, yeah, like you said, it's happening. It's happening. We'll see how it unfolds on Sunday. So this Sunday, February 28th, the 78th Annual Golden Globe Awards. It's kind of hard to believe after this last year, that things are moving forward. But this is really the first major awards show of the year. So that is exciting in and of itself. The Golden Globes are kind of the fun cousin to the more serious Oscars, which will now be at the end of April. So the Globes are always a fun kickoff to award season. We're going to see how this unfolds, but they're a little bit looser, a lot of fun. The Globes cover both film and television, and they honor awards for both film, drama, and musical comedy. So there's something for everyone here in the Globes. They're always a lot of fun. But yeah, this year is going to look a little bit different, like most things this year. It's going to be a hybrid event. So Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are coming back. They were incredible hosts. This is their fourth time hosting. Tina Fey is going to be covering from New York, and Amy Poehler will be in Los Angeles. And so they'll have some presenters on the stage, some big name presenters here for this. And then the award recipients, this will be a virtual event. So we're going to see how this all comes together. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. There are some great films nominated this year. Leading the pack are the films Nomadland, the Netflix film Mank, The Trial of the Chicago 7, and Promising Young Woman. So these are kind of the leaders of the pack here. And there are some new things for the Golden Globes. So the Golden Globes have been around. This, like I said, this is the 78th Golden Globes, but something new here. There are 18 first-time nominees. I always love that when you get to see the new talent. Yeah, there's so much new talent, great talent out there. I love seeing these people being honored and celebrated too, because they've given us a lot of entertainment, especially over the last year. So that's going to be fun to see some of these new faces. And I'm particularly excited about this historic nomination. There are 3 women nominated in the Best Director category. So, Greg, the reason this is a big deal, this is the first time in history that there have been 3. The Golden Globes have only nominated 5 women in that category in the last 77 years. So these are nominees 6, 7, and 8 for women directors, in this category. So making some history here, so that's a pretty big deal. Those 3 directors are Regina King for her directorial debut, One Night in Miami. And then we have Chloe Zhao, who directed Nomadland, a fantastic film. And then Emerald Fennell for directing Promising Young Woman. So those 3 incredible directors are up against Aaron Sorkin, another incredible director for Mank, and David Fincher for Trial of the Chicago 7. So that's something to look out for this weekend. Now, not surprising, Netflix leads the nominations. They have 42 Golden Globe nominations, Greg, this year. 42.
Yeah.
So this is over TV and film.
Tiny amount there.
Just a tiny amount. So it just goes to show, it's not surprising. I mean, we've all been streaming Netflix over the past year, but Mank, again, leads in the nominations. That's the black and white film about the writer of Citizen Kane. And then the follow-up is Trial of the Chicago 7. So that leads with 5 nominations this year. And something to look out for. So Chadwick Boseman, the late Chadwick Boseman, is nominated in the Best Actor category for his role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So I think he'll take home that statuette posthumously. So he will be honored now 6 months after his passing. Something to look out for. Viola Davis was also honored. His co-star in that film is honored. I think she probably will get the statuette for her role in that film. We also have singer Andra Day, the song Rise Up, an incredible singer. She has her first nomination for playing Billie Holiday, and also first-time nominee Maria Bakalova. She was in Borat, the subsequent movie film. Did you see that? Her in that film?
I did not.
Okay, she was incredible. So this is her first time nomination. She was kind of plucked from obscurity. I would say Sacha Baron Cohen found her, and she's like, I can't believe I'm here either. Once you see
I'm
that
sorry.
movie, which
You know what? I misheard. I misheard what you said because I didn't recognize her name. Yes, absolutely, I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, I always forget what her name is because I didn't know about her beforehand.
There you go. And now after Sunday, I think everyone's gonna know know her name. She's incredible. So she's nominated for her work in that, as well as Sacha Baron Cohen. So he's nominated for an acting role for playing Borat. He took home the Golden Globe in 2006, I think it was, for playing Borat as well. So we'll see if he gets an award again. What's cool too about the Golden Globes is there are a handful of these talents that are nominated in a number of different categories. So Sacha Baron Cohen is one of those. He's not just nominated for playing Borat, but he's also nominated for his role in the Trial of the Chicago 7. We also have Anya Taylor-Joy. She is going to be a superstar. She's a star on the rise for sure. She's nominated for her role in the film Emma, as well as her role in the smash hit The Queen's Gambit. Those two. Olivia Colman is also one to watch. She's nominated for Best Actress for her role in the film The Father, and she's also nominated again for playing Queen Elizabeth II in The Crown. So those are always fun too. Couple of nominations. What will they get,
I think
get awarded for?
I think that's really interesting. You know, that's a lot of people that are getting the multiple nominations, which is great. And also I think definitely a testament to the time of last year with so many different things not coming out and 42 nominations, you know, from Netflix. I know there's something else though that it seems to be a staple lately with pretty much every awards ceremony over the last year. There's controversy, there's some snubs. Can you kind of walk us through those and what we should be aware of?
Yeah. So, I mean, every year, you know, there's someone that you think, oh, maybe they should have gotten that. There was an expectation, possibly. I think the biggest ones, there's a couple. One, Tom Hanks. He was nominated with a Lifetime Achievement Award. He's usually a big star at the Golden Globes. He's kind of the beloved international star. He was overlooked this year for his role in News of the World. Also, the big one, so Zendaya also did not get a nomination for her work. And Spike Lee, his Vietnam era film, Da 5 Bloods, totally shut out. Most people thought he would get a nomination for Best Picture, Best Director, and Delroy Lindo for his role there, but nothing there from Spike Lee. So the one thing I will add, though, is that Spike Lee's two children are going to be the Golden Globe ambassadors this year. So that's a pretty cool honor. So
Awkward.
That's something to look out for. Yeah, they will be the ambassadors, but Spike Lee's film. So we're going to have to see, though, again, like with the Globes, we'll see what happens once the Oscars come around. We won't get those nominations until mid-March, but there could be some nominations, you know, coming up there in the future for him. One thing I wanted to add, too, of something to look out for at the Globes are in the television category. We talked about The Crown. I think The Crown is going to take home best show, and Schitt's Creek will probably take home best comedy show. They do have some competition with Ted Lasso.
As it should.
Ted Lasso. Yeah. So those are in two different categories. So I think Crown has it for drama in television. I think Ted Lasso or Schitt's Creek is going to get it for comedy. So a lot of fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Schitt's Creek is amazing. Ted Lasso, there's a lot of people I don't think saw Ted Lasso because it's on Apple TV Plus. I've seen it. It's really funny, and especially if you like Jason Sudeikis. I mean, he's fantastic. The whole cast is fantastic in that. It's such a good show. Yeah. So you've got all that's happening this weekend, and then I know there's some other things too that are out because you review everything, and there's another one that I know you wanted to highlight, which is the United States versus Billie Holiday.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about that. And before I do talk about that, I did want to touch on quickly the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Can we talk a little bit about just they've been in the news? Yeah, they've been in the news a lot this week, especially with the awards coming up this Sunday. But the LA Times did an investigative report. So the Hollywood Foreign Press, those are the voters who vote for the Golden Globes. They're made up of 87 international journalists. So it's a pretty insular group, but they were kind of called out. The spotlight was on them this week for some of their ethics and some of their financial handlings. So people kind of have a spotlight on that organization. And another thing that has come to light, this is not a revelation. This has been for years, but in that body of voters, there is not one Black voter. So that came out as well this week. So they're behind the times as far as inclusivity and diversity, like I mentioned with the female director nominations, and those kinds of things. So they're getting a lot of heat, and they, the group said that it's time to make some changes, and they'll be working toward making some of those changes. But that's kind of why they're being looked at, this weekend. It's kind of come to light again, but they've been around, for 78 years, so it's high time to kind of get with the times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems so tone deaf. I mean, I was always tone deaf, but especially right now, over this last year. Are you kidding me? You didn't think about that maybe this is a bit of an issue? Like, come on. But that's good, at least, that they're getting called out for it.
Exactly.
So
And now they say,
changes.
oh yeah, we do need to make some changes. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year. Yep.
Well, hopefully. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention on that. Let me know for the Golden Globes, and then if you want to talk about United States versus Billie Holiday, which I haven't seen yet. I'm excited to see
Okay.
this.
No, I think I can move on, because I think people kind of know what was going on with that. That's the organization. That's what's happening. They're going to make some changes. You've probably seen Ava DuVernay was very vocal about it. She's incredible, and she's like, really? Is this a revelation? This has been for years. There have been no Black members. This is a very insular group. So yeah, I think that's all I really need to say about that. All that aside, I think you're going to enjoy the show on Sunday. It is always fun. So I do, want to mention two other films that are coming out this weekend. They're out today. So if you're not so interested in the Globes, maybe you can check out these two Billies. They're both about two fabulous, fierce women named Billie. So the first one is the United States versus Billie Holiday. And this is a film by Lee Daniels. So you probably know him from the film Precious and Butler, and he's also at the helm of the show Empire. So the film stars Andra Day as Billie Holiday, and it follows the singer's fierce battle with the federal government. So the federal government targeted Holiday in its escalated war on drugs back in the 1940s and the 1950s. And bottom line, they wanted her to stop singing her controversial ballad, Strange Fruit. So this is a big piece of history. That song of hers protested against the lynching of Black Americans. And so this undercover operation was led by the federal agents. They were trying to catch her on heroin use. And essentially they wanted her to stop singing this song. So it's a really, really interesting look at this time in history and this fierce fighter of a woman. Trevante Rhodes, who you saw there, he was in Moonlight. He plays another federal agent, Jimmy Fletcher. They end up having an affair, and they're together, but he's part of the sting operation. So I really enjoyed this film. I'm going to say this: it's scattered in some parts, and there are some parts that are a little bit slow. But what I loved about it, Andra Day and her embodiment of Billie Holiday is absolutely incredible. It's captivating. She just nails it. I also loved getting a little more history on Billie Holiday. And when I say this is someone, she is a hero, and she fought till her last breath, literally. She fought till her last breath. I'll just say that. And I am still moved by this movie. So there are some gaps, but I'm still moved by this film days later.
And I love that you get to find out more about that history and that side of her. I mean, most people are familiar with her music and how incredible that was, but to know this side of that story and to get some light on it, I mean, I'm fascinated by that. I can't wait to watch that one. So that's out today. And then there's another, we said it was back-to-back Billies.
Yes.
So going to the other Billie, there's another Billie that's out.
And another Billie, another fierce, fabulous performer. So this one is Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, and this one is on Apple TV+. I loved this documentary, captivating. It's over 2 hours. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And this follows Billie Eilish from 2018 through her Grammy sweep in 2020. Remember when she swept the Grammy Awards last year? She won 11 awards. Yep. She got the Album of the Year. So this film is following almost 2 years of her life. And this comes to us from filmmaker R.J. Cutler. He did The War Room and the September issue. And so we see Eilish, she's grappling with superstar fame and her teenage years. And I kind of look at it, it's like these two rocket ships taking off simultaneously, and we're just there for it. And it's so beautiful and vulnerable. And we get to see, so Eilish lives with her parents. I mean, they're in their modest childhood home in Los Angeles. Her dad's telling dad jokes. Her mom is really supportive. She has this really incredible support system and family. So there are so many dear moments you see. We see Phineas there too, her brother, of course, her collaborator, producer. We see him as well. And we also get this really intimate look at this, superstar, I will call her, and her struggles with mental health, her Tourette's, and her romantic relationships as well. So it's just really a generous film. I'll say that it's a very generous film. It's very captivating. For 2 hours and 20 minutes, I just was glued to watching everything that was going on. So I highly recommend this film. Whether you're a big Billie Eilish fan or whether you're kind of new to her music, it's really, really well done.
Yeah, just kind of getting that viewpoint too of somebody and seeing kind of behind the scenes is, like you said, she's a huge superstar. So that's really, really cool that you get to see that part of it. So those are both out. That's on Apple TV Plus. I guess, the last thing, anytime we talk, I always want to know too, what is Erin watching, besides all of this? You're watching a lot of things, but what else are you watching right now?
No, Greg, I watch a lot of TV and a lot of movies, but what I will recommend, the two recent things that I saw was Nomadland, Frances McDormand in Nomadland, the film, and then Promising Young Woman. That's both of those films, have the directors that are up, the two women directors who are nominated. Two incredible films. So Nomadland, and then Promising Young Woman, and that stars Carey Mulligan. And it's very different than what you think from the trailers. I'll just say that. Promising Young Woman has an ending that will surprise you.
Okay.
What about
that
you?
Is a good,
yeah, what about you?
Excellent tease. I'm still on WandaVision. I mean, if you're a Marvel MCU fan, I love WandaVision. I was so hesitant to the concept is so weird, and you do have to watch the movies, at least the last few movies to really get it, but it's so well done. I love it. And it's only got one more episode left, but after this weekend, but yeah, that's what I've been watching. I've been binging that. I've rewatched it, actually. That's how much I liked it. I've rewatched every episode.
No, those are the best, those comfort shows. Can I give one fun fact to anyone who might care about this? Because I thought this was a very fun fact. So in the films that I was talking about, the nominees, Emerald Fennell, who you will see on the Globes on Sunday, I'm giving you this fact for all of the Crown lovers like myself. And I was telling my sister, Emerald Fennell, who directed Promising Young Woman, she also plays Camilla Parker Bowles in the Crown series. So if you're watching the Globes and you're like, how do I know her? How do I know her? How do I know her face? She plays Camilla in the Crown. So she's a multi-talented person. I just wanted to share that fact because I found that fascinating.
That is a great fact that people can put out there. Yeah. So, all right. So very talented is what you were saying.
Very talented,
Erin,
yes.
I want to say thank you very much for being here with us to talk about this, but I want to let people know how to follow along with you with everything that you're doing and all your reviews and all this amazing stuff that you've got for everybody. What's the best place for people to follow Erin Keeney?
So I have it, it's Instagram. Instagram is my place right now. Instagram, Erin Marie Keeney on Instagram. That's my place where I have my reviews, a little bit about everything that I'm doing and covering. And I think there'll be a lot more to come now that award season is here. And we have until the end of April. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to be talking about in the months ahead.
Nice. Fantastic. Well, Erin, as always, so good to see you. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. Some great recommendations too on what to watch. So 2 Billy movies this weekend, Promising Young Women, everything that you've just talked about here. I'm going to go back through and actually make a list based on what you said. So Erin, thank you very, very much. Great to see you.
You too. Thanks, Greg. Have a good weekend.
You too. Erin Keeney right here on the Inbox. It is always so nice having her here to talk about this. It's like she's such an expert and well-versed in everything that we just covered right there. So that was just great. So, and I want to say thank you too to everybody who's joining us. I know this is a little bit of a different time than what we normally broadcast. Depends on when you're watching. If you're watching live, it's a little bit of a different time. Testing out some things, trying out here in the afternoon. But we are, of course, always there for you online. You can follow Two Box Media, TWO Box Media, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Go to our website. And another thing, just to give a little plug here. If you have a live stream that you're interested in doing, or maybe your company does, or you want a new set design that's amazing like this, well, we can help you out with all that too. So you can always send us an email, info@2boxmedia. You can follow myself, Greg Nibbler. You can send me an email. Let me know whether you agree, disagree with some of the stuff I said, especially some of the topics that we covered here at the beginning of the show. Talking about Twitter and those changes. Would you be willing to pay $4.95 to follow somebody? I don't know. Seems like an awful lot to me, but maybe that's something that people want. Twitter might know what they're doing. So all of that is there for you to review. Check out all of our other videos too. We've got some great explainer videos that are up on our YouTube channel, so hit follow there and subscribe and share and like, and you know the drill. You know what the drill is. And thank you, everybody. On behalf of myself, I'm Greg Nibbler, and on behalf of myself, Mike Solis, Jess Surba, this is the Inbox with Greg Nibbler, and we'll talk to you soon with some more.